JD, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get you fresh, bro.
Yeah, you got to sing for him at some point, bro.
He's got calyx and all kinds of challenges that we're gonna try to attempt to compliment. Let's get started. YouTube, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? We are back with another tutorial. Your boy just hit 300,000 subscribers, and I want to thank you guys so much. The journey has been a long one. Slow and steady wins the race, they say. So I can tell you, that's definitely been the journey, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I just want to thank you guys for getting your boy to 300,000 subscribers. So we are now going to focus on this tutorial. So guys, what I'm doing right here is I'm using a number 3. This is the purple magnetic guard. That's why it doesn't go along with the color chart you see in the bottom left corner. This is the Andis double magnetic guards. So we're just using this because I like to use this clipper with the Filthy Blends mod to clear through bulk pretty much. Above that, we're going to use our number 4 guard. Now switching to my Babeless Custom FXs. And that number 4 should be almost a finger length, a finger length, right? And whatever's underneath in between those 2 guards, I'm just trying to make sure that it's blended in. So I followed it up with another number 3, but with the Clipper Custom FX, just to clean it up before I start connecting this area, the bulk that goes up to the top, right where it starts to round into the top, right? And what you're gonna see is I'm gonna go from scissor over comb like you see here, and then vertical sections like you see here. You can do it either way, right? And the reason why I'm doing it 2 different ways like this is because this is Christian Perez's son, and he's there with his mom, and his mom does hair. And so I was just kind of explaining to them why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing and different techniques they can do to accomplish the same thing, right? So if you like scissor over comb, you could have done scissor over comb, you could have done clipper over comb, you could have done vertical sections like this. I tend to have more control when I take sections, but some people, everybody's different. And then like in this area, you'll see I'll switch over to scissor over comb because it's just easier to control, especially since he's gonna have a side part here on this side. Okay, and so now we can go ahead and connect the top to the work we just did on the sides. And so what you see me doing here is just separating an area that I don't want to connect to the sides from an area that I do want to connect to the sides. And now you can see the difference here, and I'm just gonna go straight up with my shears, creating a squared flat shape and connecting the top so that when it falls over, since he does swoop it over to the side, when it falls over, it just kind of flows and blends nicely into the sides. And here I'm connecting the fringe so it doesn't look like a big disconnection when he does flip his hair over to the side. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and start to cut the top to the desired length. So mom wanted a good length off, so we're taking about 1.5 inches off overall. Cutting everything squared, not triangular. Sometimes people leave it longer on like my left side where I was standing, and that just adds weight to the top, right? So we're gonna cut it straight across so that it lays nicely, not so bulky on top. And now we're gonna go ahead and cut the front to the desired length because you want it to look good whether he styles it or not. And if his hair is like choppy and uneven when his hair is laying forward and he has no product, that's just something that you can easily make much more wearable by adding those attentions to detail. Okay, we blew dry his hair, and we're doing some last minute detailing here in the blend area, and then we're gonna go ahead and set ourselves up for clipper work like you see here, because we're gonna give him a low taper on the sides and the back. Now his hair is the type of hair texture that clippers with plastic guards have a tough time kind of feeding the hair and cutting it evenly. It's like these it's really fine hair, and so they typically like to bunch up together, and then it's just hard to cut all of it. So you got to go over the same spot a million times to get it even. And I know, you know, detachable clippers are a thing too, and those help with it, but they don't help enough to me. So anyways, we'll just go over the same spots a bunch of times and get it as even as possible, and then we'll go ahead and start the taper.
Tito, let's get it.
So this area right here was a bit bulky, and what I don't want to do is cut too much length off the top. So I'm using my blending shears. It's just safer, and blending shears, just you want to make sure when you're looking at blending shears, they just have a bunch of teeth. They have a bunch of teeth, and it allows you to cut in the same spot without taking too much bulk off, but with enough cuts you will take length away. All right, so now we're starting to taper. We start with the bald line, now the clipper all the way open. Now I'm using a number 1 guard all the way open, and we are going up about a ½ inch at a time. Underneath that 1 guard open, you see I'm using the half guard open and then closing it as needed until it is blended. At this point, we're just kind of detailing. We're looking for areas that are a little bit dark, lightening them up so that it looks like more of a gradient look all the way around. And honestly, like, the cut is gonna look good regardless. I feel like if you follow the steps and you don't detail, it's going to look good, but I want it to look as good as possible, so I spent time detailing. So now we're lining him up. I'm using my Babyliss Skeleton FXs, my silver ones. They are not as sharp as my rose gold ones, and that's why I love using them on kids. Much more comfortable, and you want kids to be comfortable in your chair. They have, you know, you guys know how kids are with getting their haircuts. Not all of them, but a lot of kids just don't like getting haircuts, right? And so here I'm pulling his scalp up to try to get behind the ear a little bit better without, you know, cutting his ear. So I pull the scalp up to give myself space to do that. All right, we'll go ahead and start the back. Starting with our initial guideline, and honestly, I'm cutting above all of this crazy hair growth pattern and calyx and stuff, and then we'll start the taper from there. So it's bald, now blade open. We're pretty much following the same exact steps. Each of these sections might be a little bit wider than what we did on the sides, but nonetheless, they're the same steps. So now my clipper is closed, and I'm opening it as needed until that bottom line is blended. So I just jumped a step just because I saw a spot that that was driving me crazy, and I just wanted to take care of. So I slapped the number 3 on and did that. All right, so now we're using a number 1 guard open, and right underneath that, the half guard open, and closing it as needed. I try to hurry up, especially in the neck area, because kids, they don't. This is where they start to get impatient. Looking down, it starts to hurt their neck and stuff. So I try to get through the back taper as quickly as possible. At this point, we're using the 1.5 guard and closing it as we go down. And now we have our number 2 guard, and that should finish off the taper. All right, we'll go ahead and line him up. And this is crucial for the neck taper. Crucial. Just makes it pop. Now you can see the taper coming together, right? All right, so I'm gonna shut up on this part. You guys have been following along, so you don't need my narration, my narrate. I don't know. Never mind. Just follow along with the color guide.
Another Tito Beats production.
All right, and if you notice, I'm using my index finger here to pull the ear down while I'm using the trimmers to shape around the ears. And now that it's lined up, I'll start to detail it a bit more. Really trying to get this haircut to look as good as I possibly can on him. I think parents would appreciate that. Some kids appreciate it too. There are kids who really care about their haircut. But especially parents, they'll appreciate it. All right, and this is part of the detailing. We're gonna go ahead and thin his hair out, make it easier to manage. I've been cutting hair like 10 years, man, and when I first started, I always cut kids, and it was amazing to see these kids grow into men. And you've been kind of in their life, like on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, and just seeing them growing up, and you play a part in mentoring them. And there's parents that the barbers, they kind of look to speak to their kids sometimes. It's funny how that works, man, but it just goes to show how important barbers are to their community, especially when you look at it from this angle with children and constantly having people around them that will help them grow, right? So we're styling his hair. If you guys don't know, he's gonna be in my next vlog. This boy can sing. All right, Christian Perez's son can sing. So tune in for that vlog so you can hear his voice. And guys, this is the before. Now let's check out the after. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We trying to get to 1 million, man. I love you guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Smash the like button. See you in the next video.